What do you think is the enduring magic of Thomas the Tank Engine?
I think it's just beautiful stories. The characters are so endearing and relatable to children. They've lasted really from friends who have had children way before mine, and their children have grown up now to 11, 12 years old, and now with my children who are now 4 and 6, and the appeal is still the same. And they absolutely love all the characters. As I said, the stories are beautiful, the look of it is gorgeous, and the animation is lovely, and it has a certain sense of nostalgia as well, with remaining contemporary. So it's lovely, and we all enjoy it as a family.
I mean, how important do you think it is in a world where lots of things are changing that we have something like Thomas the Tank Engine that in many ways looks and feels the same as when we were kids?
I think there's some sort of sense of security and warmth in that, and as I said, there is a certain sense of nostalgia, and to watch it with my children as well, I was probably a bit older when Thomas came out, actually I'm not quite sure when Thomas first appeared on our screens, but I'm guessing I may not have been a toddler, but I was always aware of it. But obviously, as I say, when you're friends and everyone starts to have children and it comes into your life more, it's nice to have something that retains kind of old core values and things that mean a lot. And I suppose in terms of comparison to some new great television programmes for children that have come out that my children also love, I think somebody's falling over. There's a certain amount of warmth, and it's sort of got that kind of nice glowy tummy feeling. You know, when you watch it, it just brings a smile to everyone's face.
When you're not watching Thomas the Tank Engine, what are you working on at the moment? What's coming up next for you?
I've been really busy. It's been a bit sort of a crazy life. But I said in a recent interview that I'm quite good with crazy, so that's okay. That's going to be my new tagline. I'm good with crazy. I'm working a lot. I'm working on the music, of course. I'm recording my album right now, and I'm doing lots of gigs. I'm doing lots of sort of festival things. And I've just come back from working in Scotland as well. I did a show in the Edinburgh Festival, which was great. I've been working on a comedy show. I've been working on a show for television, which I can't actually say too much about. I should stop bringing this up, you know. But it's just been really, really busy, and it's been great. So a lot coming soon.
Can you tell us anything about the album? What fans can expect?
Yeah, the album is. It's just me. It's exactly what I want to do. It's exactly. It's what you saw on the X Factor, but more. It's. Inspired by the classic songs of the late 60s, early 70s by my favourite artists, people like Janis Joplin, Aretha Franklin, Etta James, Joe Cocker, you know, the list goes on. But it's that kind of feel. It's sort of harking back to a very classic, organic, raw, passionate, soulful, exciting sound. It's very real. It's kind of, as you hear it, it's recorded very live and very powerful. Dynamic and raw emotional vocals. So I've always wanted to sing with my absolute heart and soul, and that's what this record gives you.
It's fantastic to have you here this morning. Are you excited about Thomas the Tank Engine?
We are. I think Dixie's more excited than me, but yeah, we're thrilled to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
What do you think the enduring magic of Thomas is? I mean, he's been with us for a long time now, and he just keeps on going down the track.
He is. He's, you know, traditional figure. It's great that he keeps new film out. So Thomas has been around for years. How long has it been going?
Feels like a long time, but then also...
You know, I remember it when I was little, and it's nice that she can now share that as well. So very excited to be here.
When you're not watching Thomas the Tank Engine this morning, what's coming up next for you at the moment? I'd imagine very busy and exciting time.
Yeah, we've been really busy. I'm just, well, we're launching in November, so we've been doing loads of things and putting the steps in place to get ready for the launch of Baker's Toolkit in November. So, yeah, exciting times for me.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what people can expect from the launch?
So we'll be launching at one of the biggest cake shows, well, the biggest cake show in the UK, Cake International, in November. And it's just a really exciting, fresh, new brand, baking brand that kind of targets a market that's untouched at the moment, like a real mass market baking brand. So, yeah, very exciting times.
I mean, that's what's coming up, but looking back, I mean, what was the experience of being part of the show really like? I mean, do you have a particular fondest memory or a low point, a high point?
Yeah, no, I think, you know, overall the show for me was amazing. And you know, I've come out not winning and actually probably in a better situation than I was if I would have won. So it's been a roller coaster, but it's been very fun, very fun.
I've always been a massive fan of Thomas, yes.
Why have you been such a big fan of this little train?
Because of my two daughters.
What do you think the magic of Thomas the Tank Engine is? He's been with us now for nearly 70 years. He just keeps on going down the track.
Yes, I didn't realise it was as long as that actually, but he's charming, isn't he, I suppose, and the stories are great, and it's just, it's just lovely, simple stories, but he's great, yeah, we love him.
How nice do you think it is in a world where everything's changing, that we've got one thing like this that we can kind of pass on to kids, and it's the same as when we remember it when we were young?
Yeah, isn't it lovely, a world without mobile phones and computers and everything, just nice in the hills, yeah, it's lovely, nice and simple.
When you're not enjoying Thomas the Tank Engine, what are you up to at the moment?
I'm playing Lady Macbeth at the moment, which is a bit different from Thomas, at the Globe Theatre.
Obviously, that's one of the most fantastic roles in stage history. I mean, how much of a challenge is it? How much are you enjoying being Lady Macbeth?
I have to say I'm absolutely loving it. It's the best way of spending a summer working at the Globe. It's wonderful.
Again, the Globe, of course, you know, an iconic venue. How does it feel performing that work at that venue?
For me, it does feel as though it's where the plays were intended to be played, and it's absolutely thrilling, and it's packed every day, and you know we never take that for granted. It's a real privilege actually to play that part in that play at the Globe. It's wonderful.
As a performer, what do you get from the experience of being on stage that you maybe don't from working in television or film?
Well, at the Globe more than anywhere else, it's. You really require something back from the audience, and they're sort of like the other character in the play, so you're communicating with them all the time, and of course that's unlike any other theatre, let alone working on TV. It's really unique and unusual.
For young fans watching this who love to follow in your luminous footsteps and maybe be actors or actresses themselves, what advice would you give them?
Train, work hard, and don't give up on your dream.
Excited for Thomas?
Really looking forward to it. They've just come back from Shanghai last night, so they're a bit jet lagged. So, but I'm sure she will enjoy it. It's the first film she's been to, Jasmine.
Very excited for that. I mean, obviously Thomas has been with us for almost 70 years now. What do you think the enduring magic of this little train is?
I think it's the whole collection of books. I mean, it's so long since I read them, but I mean, they really come alive, the characters as trained, so it's always going to have that appeal for children. And for adults.
How important do you think it is in a world where everything seems to change that we've got something like Thomas which is consistent and is very much as we remember it when we pass it on to our kids?
I think that's great. I mean, there are other examples of that. I think Tintin's another example. You know, that these things just seem to endure because the characters are so strong in the first place.
When you're not watching Thomas, what are you working on at the moment? If you've got any performances coming up?
Yeah, really busy at the moment. I've just got back from touring China too, and we just made an album together. My wife's also a very good cellist, so we're looking forward to that coming out end of September.
Can you tell us anything about that album, what we can expect from that?
It's called A Tale of Two Cellos, and basically we've arranged a lot of vocal duets, so there's 21 tracks on it. It's a great combination, two cellos. It's just like two voices, really, and so I think it's worked very well.
It's such a beautiful instrument. What do you think distinguishes it from, well, I guess all instruments, but particularly other string instruments?
I think the thing about the cello is the range of pure range of pitch. I mean, it can play very low and very high, and also it's definitely the closest instrument to the human voice. So two cellos together is a really good sound.
For young fans watching this who would love to be able to one day play as well as you guys, what advice would you give them if they're just starting out?
It's boring, I'm afraid. It's practice, but practice and enjoying it. And I think if you can work with other musicians at the same time, maybe learn an instrument together, that's probably more fun.
Who or what inspired you to pick up the cello to begin with?
I don't know, because there was never really a string player in the family at all. My parents were both musicians, but I just like the look of it. I like the look of it being played, really. I think it looks a very natural instrument. You can see how the notes are made and the sound produced. And so I just asked to play a cello and got on with it.
You mentioned you just come back from China. What was the experience like playing out there? How did it compare to playing over here?
It was brilliant because I toured with the BBC Orchestra and we had concerts in Beijing, Shanghai, all over the place, and very well received, very good audiences, lovely new concert halls. It's definitely a place for the future.
I mean, talking about the future, obviously there is a question about how we excite young people in particular about classical music and keep them learning instruments. How do you think we do that? What do you think the secret is to that?
Key for children is to work together at learning. I think nowadays children are not so keen to be locked away in a room and learn an instrument on their own. So I think it's great if they can learn in the context of an orchestra. That's the way to do it for me.
Fantastic to have you here this morning. How excited are you for Thomas the Tank Engine?
Excited as Bella. Bella's the one that's excited. I mean, you know, I'm pretty cool with Thomas, but it doesn't really rock my boat. I'm a bit old for Thomas. But she loves him. Do you like Thomas? Were you excited to come this morning? Got a lipstick on too, so she's prepared.
I mean, Thomas is an enduring icon. He's been with us for such a long time. Why do you think he continues to endure? What's the magic that seems to keep him going?
Well, personally, I think it's very quaint that it's all about little trains, you know, and it's adorable that it's about trains. I used to think it was just a boys' thing, but she's a girl and she really likes him. So I suppose its appeal is very widespread.
Talking about enduring icons, what have you got coming up yourself at the moment?
I'm writing at the moment, songwriting at the moment. So I'm in the studio. Nice to get out, actually.
When are we going to get to hear the fruits of that labour?
Who knows? It takes forever. If they ever come out, you know, if it ever works. But it's a process, yeah, and it's good. Things are good.
What kind of stuff are you working on at the moment? What's inspiring you? What's it going to sound like?
Actually, I think it's kind of about going back to my roots. About going back to where I came from, which is sort of slightly the blues, with a tinge of, with a little bit of rock, you know. But I don't want to say anything yet, but it's got to have a pop influence.
It is absolutely fantastic to have you here this morning. Are you looking forward to a bit of Thomas the Tank Engine?
I am so excited about watching Thomas. I haven't slept. I was very excited. Now I'm with my little kind of best friend's little boy here. He's very excited about seeing it.
I mean, obviously, this little train's been with us for nearly 70 years now. What do you think continues to excite big and little kids about the idea of a talking train?
Oh my God, I have absolutely no idea. I don't know. I think they've got lots of personalities, haven't they? I haven't seen it for a really long time. My little one's kind of outgrown it, but I don't know. Maybe we should get the little one over and ask him. He'd probably know more than me.
I think everyone has at least one show, one film that when they were a little kid really meant a lot to them and they never forget it. Was there something that when you were growing up really did that for you?
Oh God, I loved The Wizard of Oz when I was younger, yeah, and the Fraggle Rock. Do you remember Fraggle Rock?
Fraggle Rock, of course.
Fraggle Rock. I loved that one, yeah. Yeah, I was obsessed with Dorothy and the Return to Oz as well, and sort of the dreamlike vibe of the whole film. It was just I don't know, it really resounded with me when I was young, and I love it. Still do.
And of course, fans want to know what's coming up on Enders. Anything particularly exciting?
I've probably got the busiest 4 weeks of my life coming up, but it's all brilliant. It's all really exciting. There's lots to look forward to. Well, I think I'm very lucky with my character, so keeping her fresh and excited is reasonably easy because she's so versatile, and so I'm always sort of interacting with lots of different cast members, and very lucky with the storylines. Kind of have explored lots of sort of dark areas of her life, so it's quite easy. But I think, you know, it is hard to stay on top of it and to keep it all fresh. But you have to stay enthusiastic.
Of course, fans have their favourite Janine moments. Are there any looking back in particular that you especially enjoy doing or you're especially proud of?
I mean, the one that gets remembered really the most is pushing Barry off the cliff. That's kind of an iconic moment, so that's always great. I can't believe it's been so long that I've been in the show. There've been so many moments. I've been so lucky, you know, like she's been through so much, dealt with drug abuse and alcoholism and loads of stuff, so it's all been really great.
What do you think the enduring magic of Thomas the Tank Engine is?
Oh, I think it's legendary, isn't it? I grew up with it, and it's fantastic to be able to introduce it to my daughter for Baya.
You mentioned that you grew up with it. What are your earliest memories of Thomas, and why did you respond so well to him?
I'm not sure. I think it was a combination of the storylines, the colours, and, you know, this magical Thomas, you know, magical train that talks kind of thing, and his friendly character.
What do you think it is about a talking train that excites the imagination of kids so much?
I guess it's the unexpected, and, trains are so cold and unfriendly, aren't they? It's such a lovely thing to make them, to turn them into these friendly characters, and it's a good way to introduce them to trains, I guess.
In a world where everything seems to change, how nice do you think it is that we have at least one thing that's consistent, and it's as we remember it as kids when we introduce it to our kids?
Oh, I think it's great. I think it's great because obviously us parents have to sit through these films as well, and it's great not only for the nostalgic point of view, it's also great that you know, it's something we can look back on, and it's grown with the times. The storylines are still, that they're interesting for the parents and for our kids.